Today, workforce development is the topic. We've got Ellen Economic Development Group with us, and to my immediate left, Keith Horner. He's, of course, superintendent at Apollo Career Center, and then Dave Stratton, of course, the familiar face, and he is president and CEO of Allen Economic Development Group. And Keith, you're a familiar face, too. I shouldn't say that, but both you guys are here to talk about workforce development, how you work together. And Dave, you always talk about partnerships. You bring in the businesses, but we've got to make sure that we have the people that can do the jobs, right?
We do. You know, we're all about the next generation. So how can we train up and see what we can do to get them ready for the jobs that we need locally? Our businesses are telling us, let's make sure that we have the accreditation that's necessary. What about what kind of career, you know, might be advantageous for the businesses? And our #1 partner is Apollo.
All right. And how do you guys know what the workforce needs and like what you need to train, you know, the future employees of our companies?
Well, great question, and that's one of the things that we use EDGE for in trying to help assist us in identifying those needs. The other thing we do is listen to employers. So employers come to us, and if we think, you know, there's the mass need, we try to respond as much as possible. You know, I can point to many programs that we've started just because employers have came to us and said, look, we have a dire shortage of X or Y or whatever that might be in terms of the workforce.
It's like welding one of those? I mean, give us an example.
Yeah, so welding is one. You know, when a few years ago the fire chiefs came and said, look, their candidate pool is really shrinking, so we were able to start a fire program on our high school side in addition to our adult side. We've done that with electrical, we've done that with HVAC. We've added a culinary teacher, and we've added a welding teacher since we've been there. So we've had significant growth over the last several years.
You mentioned high school, so I mean, but you do high school and adults, and that's important for people to know too.
Absolutely. Our adult is very robust. We do a lot of training of employees while they're working at one particular site. We actually have registered apprenticeships for some of our industries. We do some customized training for them as well. So it's very valuable. We love what we do. We love trying to help with our employers, trying to work with partners like EDGE to basically be a benefit to the community.
Yeah, and Dave, you always say it's so important to keep the companies we already got going and expanding. And I assume Apollo and the Rhodes and the other people, when you hear from those companies, they say, hey, we need this, that's when you also jump to and help out to make sure.
Yeah, for sure. So these businesses, we want them to have interaction with Apollo, Rhode State, and UNOH and others, because they can then best express what kind of needs they have. And then Keith and his team just does a tremendous job of trying to meet those needs.
Are we unique that we have like Apollo and Rhodes and all these area institutions that can help with training?
We're blessed. We're blessed. We have beautiful academic community. We have a wonderful high school system. We have a tremendous amount of training opportunities. And we talked about this with MakerFest. We need to start the students younger, right? It used to be we're thinking senior year. We're talking now junior high, maybe freshman, sophomore year. How can we help them to get into a career pathway? Well, guess what? Apollo can help with that.
Yeah, are you seeing a little bit of growth in your programs with the high school students coming in wanting a job?
Yeah, very much so. We've grown over the last 10 years, we've grown 50% in our high school population, so very significant. We are very tight on space right now. But yeah, it's a great opportunity for kids. And we talk about employers reaching out to kids when they're younger. Honestly, if you wait till they're seniors, it's too late. So,
really, yeah. And so I assume you're seeing your high school kids go from high school to a job too.
Very, very much so. A lot of them come and making very family-sustaining wages.
Oh,
is
yeah.
what I like to say.
I bet they are, yeah. And that's another good point, right? We've got the industry here that can support those wages.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thanks for
Holly.
having us.
Thank you for coming, both of you. All right, don't go away. New Edition continues in a moment.